Hey, it's Russ and Lauren. I'm right here on the Infectious Groove Music YouTube channel, and we always take viewer suggestions for any of our series, whether it's 5 great covers of, 5 songs to start with, 5 hidden gems, any of the series that we have on the channel. So if you have a suggestion for a video on any of those topics for any artist that you want, drop it in the comments or shoot us a message on Twitter like we got for today's video, which is a artist that I know next to nothing about. I am totally the woohoo guy. Like I know song 2 and that's it, which I'm okay with. I don't ever want us on the channel to come across as like, you have to know everything about everything. Right. But you decided to take this video because you know, first of all, more about Blur than I do. And then I think you did a little more research than I would have. I would have been like, and there's song 2. And then here's 4 other songs that were at the top of Spotify. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Lauren is going to take you through, and me, because I'm going to learn a lot on this, 5 songs to start with from the band Blur.
Yeah, so I had always kind of considered myself, to borrow a phrase from you, Blur adjacent. Yeah. So doing the research for this particular project was a lot of fun for me. And the first song I want to talk about is a song called The Universal. And what struck me first about the song was the orchestrations. And so then I'm listening to it, I'm like, okay. It has kind of a kid's nursery song vibe to it. But what really impressed me the most listening to this song was the fact that it switches time signatures between the verses and the chorus. And I love it when that happens because it's just like, oh, okay, wow. So then I said, all right, Blur, I hear you.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Pink Floyd things. And so whenever anyone else does it, I even if it, like Blur in no way sounds like Pink Floyd, but because of the timing change, I'm like, all right then. Yeah.
Respect.
So there you go. The Universal starting things off for you. What do you got next?
Next is a song called Coffee and TV. And this just has such a catchy guitar riff. Like, it is Britpop at its Britpopiest. And it's wonderful. It sounds super upbeat and catchy. Guess what, though? Lyrically super dark.
And that's what you love.
That's what I love.
Yeah. So Coffee and TV, typical Britpop, but in a good way.
In a great way. Yeah, for sure.
Next up, you have a song called For Tomorrow, which is off a record that I think the title of is hilarious. Modern Life is Rubbish. It reminds me, actually, it's Blur adjacent as well, but there's a shirt that Liam Gallagher used to wear with his opinion of Blur on the front of the shirt, which I'm not saying is right or wrong. I just, the title of this record reminds me of that shirt.
It's so great.
But you have a song called For Tomorrow.
Yes, I do. And, you know, this song is just so British. And you listen to it, and the thing that really struck me about this, and like some of the other Blur offerings that I was listening to put this all together, is Blur, it feels to me kind of like what the Kinks would have been doing if they started in the 90s. Right. So they're kind of like, there's definitely a torch passing kind of situation. It's just very, very cool. You definitely get Kinks vibes, especially off of this track.
Which can't be a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Right on. What do you got next?
The next is a track called Lonesome Street, and it's a more recent Blur track. Everything else on this list is from the 90s, but this is from the mid 2010-ish time frame. And I mean, they totally still got it. And I like this song because it's really, really all over the place. It's a song in movements, and kind of looking into what Blur was talking about as while they were putting this together, this was basically a let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks kind of song, and it's great. Right. It's great.
Yeah, I don't mind when artists do that at all. There's more than a few by several different artists that I love that sound different than anything else they do because of that. And I'm all for it. What's the last one that you have on the list?
The last one is my favorite on this list, and it's a song called Clover Over Dover. First of all, that's just a great title of a song. And it opens with a harpsichord, and I am a sucker for a harpsichord. And I'm also a sucker for a song that, like, it's difficult to place in time. You know, like the harpsichord on it was definitely giving me like Alan Parsons Project vibes to it. And then, you know, it sounds Britpop. It sounds medieval. It sounds like prog rock. There's just a lot happening in this song. And kudos Blur.
There's a version of Dream On by Aerosmith that they did for MTV Unplugged, like way back in the early 90s, that Steven Tyler played the harpsichord on. Nice. And it took and made a song that's already kind of timeless be infinitely more.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear what you're saying about the timelessness on this. So we always say in the videos, you know, hey, leave us suggestions for artists that you want, like I said at the top. We also go through the trouble of putting all the links for these songs in the description below. So if you're like me and all you really know is song 2 or a couple of other Blur songs, definitely this video is for you. Hit the links in the description, check out the songs, see, and not only if you like the songs, but if you agree with what Lauren had to say. Maybe you like these songs already and you have a different opinion on them for one reason or another. Leave that for us as well. And as we always say in all our videos, thank you so much for watching.